Well, I just couldn't really resist myself. Bought this on Saturday, SRM 266, and I really like it. It's got almost as much power as this big bad 4-mix high maintenance Stihl. This thing is, I really like this machine, but it was my grandfather's originally, and it's 12 years old now and really hasn't been used a whole lot, but it's been through 2 ignition coils, 2 carburetors, spark plugs of course, air filter, fuel lines, and I'm pretty sure he even replaced the on-off switch at one point. And as most people know, the AutoCut 25-2 is a absolute piece of crap, so I put a aftermarket speed feed 450 on there and made this way nicer to use. But I don't know, seems like this thing requires valve adjusting more often than I want to do it, and the carburetor is extremely touchy to tune, but when it's tuned up really good it runs great, but it doesn't stay that way for very long. Before this I had a Echo SRM 230 that I bought brand new almost 10 years ago, and I sold it last year, and kind of missed the 2-stroke. Another thing I don't like about it is if you try and use this thing at like a quarter to half throttle, just trimming around stuff, you can do it, but it like has no low end torque, and it just bogs out. And it had been a while since I'd used a 2-cycle weed whacker, and I was using that the other day while it was still breaking in, and I could have it going almost as slow as possible headwise and still had plenty of power to do trimming. And another thing, I don't know where that line went. It came with the black diamond line, and first thing I noticed, it cut really sharp and clean in grass, but it just doesn't hold up. So I had some of this 105 thousandths Oregon Magnum Gator line I put in there because I was going along the fences yesterday in the flower bed. And I'm surprised this stuff really didn't bog the engine down as much as I thought it would compared to the 95 thousandths. And man, you can beat this right up against the fence and it hardly wears down. This one has the speed feed 400 head, a little smaller, but works just as well. And my Stihl rototiller attachment head and the hedge trimmer attachment work on the Echo just fine if you take the head off. Actually, that rototiller head came with this. Apparently my grandfather figured out you didn't need the combi system. You can just loosen these 2 screws and pull the head off and put the put the rototiller head on the end here, and it works just great. And the Echo and the Stihl both use the same size diameter tube, and the drive shaft is the same as well, so that works just fine. And I had one of these on my 230 that I sold, so I took it off and I put it on here, and I'm keeping the strap off the Stihl with this. It's a very nice machine. The throttle is actually really similar to the Stihl. It feels almost the same. It's not my favorite style, but it's okay. It's got the i30 starter, blah blah blah, 25.4 cc. One thing I like is they've gotten smarter about the air filtration. It's now, well, this is the 2620 has an even better filter, but you get a foam pre-filter now with the actual filter, so you can wash the pre-filter and extend the life of not only your engine by keeping less dust from getting in there, and it also extends the life of the air filter element itself because it won't get as dirty. So we'll start both of these up here. This thing's been starting on the 3rd pull. Started 4th the first time ever. Okay, it's primed there. Switch is on, full throttle, pull it. broad that line is. It's got a really nice handle on it too, I like it. It revs up way higher than that once it's warmed up, but as you can see, it's not really cold-blooded like the older 230 was. And I don't know what it is with this Stihl, but it's really picky on the oils you use, and if you prime it a bunch of times, it starts harder. So let's give it a couple. Just give it a few primes, let it sit for a second. I don't know why, that always helps it start easier. Full throttle. Alright. As you can see, it runs excellent for about 3 weeks. Then something gets tuned on it again. Yep, really like it, but it's way better suited as like a just a tall weed machine, not for trimming around, you know, wooden boards and flower beds and stuff. Except for it being a maintenance hog, a nice machine, but I'm just gonna sell it and keep the Echo because, to be honest with you, I really never had any trouble with any of my Echo products. And another thing here is this SH85. It's a shredder vac, but it works good. It's just about the same as the 4-mix Stihl. It's maintenance hog. Always requires tuning for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's up with this crap, but it's irritating. I bought this because of that. Yeah, I've had this for a year now and got about 7 hours on it, and it's always a 1 or 2 pull machine, and it works great, super comfortable, pretty easy on gas for a big 58cc blower. I just use this for blowing out the garage and you know, sucking stuff up out of flower beds. That's really all I use that piece of crap for. And one thing I will say about Stihl chainsaws is this is my only experience. Well, no. This is my second experience with it. The first one was a customer's that got straight gas. That was an MS440. That was a total waste of a saw because some idiot put straight gas in it. But this is an MS180C, and I really like this thing. It starts easy, has a ton of power, it's super light. I mean, Stihl, they seem to make really nice chainsaws, but their blowers suck, in my opinion, and their weed whackers are average. They're average. I mean, they seem to have a little more power than the Echoes do, but what's that when you're always working on them?